Hello, beautiful ladies. It's Keri, and I'm so happy to talk to you again this week. Oh, what a blessing it is to be together for this time. Even though, we're usually together 15, 20, 30 minutes or so, but I really treasure it. And I'm committed every week that we're together that it makes a profound difference in your life. And this week is no different than any other. So I wanted to have this conversation, which I called It's Time to Shine. And I'll tell you why this conversation came up for me. So there's a lot of times in our lives as women where, I don't know, it's different for every woman, but we tend to shrink down, dim our light, pretend to be less than what we really are, apologize for who we are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know if you are listening to this podcast, you've been there because we all have. We all have been there. And lately, I've been noticing it going on for me, which is kind of crazy. I'm not one that if you would have ever asked me, like, are you someone who dims your light? I'd be like, no, but I have been. So if I'm doing it, I know you're doing it and your friends are doing it. And it's time to say enough is enough about dimming our light. So here's how I noticed it for myself. So today in particular, I went to get my green tea from Starbucks, which if you don't know me intimately, that is my simple pleasure that I must have every single day. Yes, every single day I must have a green tea from Starbucks. It makes me happy. Anyways, I was there and the women who work, I know all the people that work there, obviously, if I go there every single day, they know me by name. And sometimes when I pull up my car, they're already making my drink. I feel like a celebrity. It's a pretty great feeling, which is what happened today. I pulled up my car and they had my drink made. And one of the women that worked there was like, "Hey," and I said, "How are you? How are things going?" And she's like, "Oh, good." And she's like, "Wait, how are you? How's everything going since you closed your business?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's good, but it's been hard." And figuring out who I am now. And, but I started a new business that I've been working on and I create courses and I have a podcast and et cetera, et cetera. And all of a sudden, and she was interested and wanted the information and wants to check it all out, which is great. But then I left and I went, why did you just do that? Why did you dim your light like that? This is not a brand new business. You have people that have done your courses, that love your courses. Hundreds of people listen to your podcasts and you make a difference for people. But in that moment, I dimmed my light. What? So oftentimes when we're uncomfortable or unsure or going through transition, we tend to downplay who we are or what we're about. And just like I did, that was an automatic response. The truth is, has it been hard to close the business and step fully into this one? I don't know if hard is the right word. I would say it's been different. I've been having to figure out who I am now. Who am I now that I no longer own a personal styling firm? Now that I no longer dress people and make them feel great in that world? Who am I in this world of fully stepping into my power to empower women to live their best lives outside of what they put on themselves? Now, I still have strong beliefs that what you put on yourself makes you feel amazing, and that will never go away. But I also think that who you are on the inside and empowering yourself at the next level has a deeper and more far-reaching capabilities to empower you, because you could look great all day long, and if you don't feel confident on the inside, it doesn't do much for you. So I noticed it today, and that's why I really wanted to talk to you about it. But then I noticed if I went back last week or a week and a half ago, I was at Pilates And people were asking like, hey, I heard you closed down your business. How's it going? What are you doing? And in that moment, I stopped my automatic, whatever was there. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I am loving it. It is so fun to get to do whatever I want every day. I don't have to go to an office. I don't have employees. I can create when I want to create. I don't create when I'm not inspired to create. It's epic. And in that moment, when I said all of that, it becomes epic. Now, you know this, right? What you say to the world, to the people in the world, what you say out loud becomes what's true for you. It just does. So if I'm telling somebody it's hard, it's slow, it's whatever, it becomes that. So stop it. I'm telling myself, stop it, stop it, stop it. And I'm telling you. So before you speak out loud, be mindful of what you're going to say when someone says, how are you? How's the situation? What's happening in your world? And I don't mean pretend to be someone or do something that you're not. That's not what this is about. This is not about being inauthentic, because in every moment, you have a choice. You have good moments and you have bad moments. So this isn't about being inauthentic. This is about choosing your reality in that moment. Are you choosing your reality in that moment to be empowering and to be empowered and to create this extraordinary future that you want? Or are you creating in that moment to be like, well, humdrum, I guess I'm doing my best, et cetera, et cetera. Which, if you're the creator, why would you create humdrum? Why would you create hardness? Why wouldn't you create extraordinary? Why wouldn't you create, I'm doing great? Because the truth is, I'm doing great. And there are moments that I go, oh my gosh, who am I now? What am I doing? What will I talk about today? There are moments like that, but that's not my overarching experience in life. My overarching experience in life is, oh my gosh, I am so filled with gratitude that for the first time in my entire life, especially as an adult, I don't have to, quote unquote, have to make something happen in business or with money or with anything. I get to choose my life every moment, which is so amazing. And why not relish in that? So that's what I'm doing over here. I am relishing in creating my life moment to moment. And that is the most authentic life that I could create, is how am I going to empower myself and others today? How am I going to live the best life possible today? How am I going to make the people who come in contact with me be happier today because they saw or interacted with me or listened to my podcast or did one of my courses and got inspired and took on their life in a whole new level, or what have you? That's what I want my life to be about every moment. And so in order to make that happen, I have to stop with the automatic responses, because a lot of those are just learned experiences, learned responses. It's not really who we are. So one of the things I would love for you to do this week is be present in a whole nother level. Be present to how you're creating who you are and your world moment to moment. How are you talking about yourself? How are you talking about your body? How are you talking about your money situation? How are you talking about your job? How are you talking about your business? How are you talking about your relationships? Be mindful, because your word, the words that come out of your mouth, create the world that you live in. I'm going to say that again for those of you who have never heard this. The words that you speak, whether it be flippant whether it be intentional, the words that come out of your mouth, the words that you speak, then become your world that you get to live in. See, if someone comes up to you and says, "How are you?" and they happen to catch you in a bad moment, because we all have those times, right? Maybe you just got a email that pissed you off, or someone called you, or someone stood you up, or I don't know, whatever happened. You just had a bad moment and someone said, "How are you?" And in the realm of being quote unquote authentic, you're like, what a crappy day. I'm not good. Then they have that one moment with you. That one moment in time, that's how they experience you. That's how they experience you. And then you go off and 10 minutes later get your shit together and are happy again. But they don't know that. They think you're in this crappy space forever, right? So you now exist for them as this person who's like everything's going wrong for. They don't think of you as that was just a moment in time. It usually doesn't change until they see you again or talk to you again. So be really mindful of what comes out of your mouth. Is it a bad moment? Unless, that's why I think it's so important to share with people that you're close to what's happening with you, because then in those moments, they see you the next day. They see you in 10 minutes. They know you're going to work it out in a few minutes. They know you're not going to be stuck with this for a month. Those are the people that you want to share with. Keep it close to, so then you can go back and go, "Oh, okay, I'm over it. Thank you for just letting me vent. I'm over it. Here's what I'm creating now." And you get to create this magical world with them. But that casual person that you saw on the street, you don't get that opportunity. So make the impact that you want to make, create that listening, how you want people in the world to know who you are every moment. You know, every moment, this is a funny story, but every moment I go into Starbucks, right? My Starbucks that I go to all the time. Every moment I go in, I say, "Thank you so much." I just shout it out from the mobile pickout area, right? There could be 50 people in the store. I don't care. But I shout out, I make eye contact with my favorite people, and I say, "Thank you so much. Have an amazing day," every single day. Why? Because I want them to, when they see me, know I'm that joyful, happy, pleasant lady who wants them to have a great day. I never go in and be like, "Hey, thanks. See you later." That's not how I want to be known. And I intentionally created this. This wasn't like a happenstance thing. No, every single time I want them to know, "I appreciate you. Have an awesome day." And then you know what that does? It also impacts everyone around who hears me. Now, whether they'll be that way or not, whether they'll be that grateful and thankful and tell people to have a great day or not, I don't know. But I do believe that when you're like that, it's contagious in life. So I want you to take this on for the next week. Be mindful of what comes out of your mouth. I mean, we could go as far as to say, be mindful of what you think, which is a whole different ball of wax. Maybe we'll do that episode in the weeks to come, which is very powerful, because what you think also impacts your entire life, right? As a mindset coach, everything that you think, if you don't interrupt those thoughts, that's the life you're going to get. But just for this week, think about and look and notice and be aware of what comes out of your mouth. What are you What are you creating when you talk to someone? What are you creating in that business meeting? What are you creating in your relationship? What are you creating with your kid? Be mindful of what comes out of your mouth and how you want to leave people, how you want them to know you. That is so, so, so important. You're creating who you are every moment. Even if you've been a complete jerk to somebody for your entire life, if you start being mindful and you start spreading joy with them and coming from great gratitude, within days, they'll shift their opinion of you. It's not hard work. So take it on. I want to hear what happens for you. So send me a DM, send me an email, however you want to communicate with me. But share with me how this conversation made a difference for you and what you noticed out of it. I would love to support you on your journey. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, if you got something out of this podcast, if you enjoy it, share it with your friends. Please, please, please give us a 5-star review, rate us, subscribe to our podcast. I would love to hear from you. And if there's any way that I can support you, get on my calendar. I'll do a one-on-one call with you and see how we can take your life to the next level and cause breakthroughs beyond what you ever imagined this year and beyond. So thanks for being here. I love you. Have an amazing day. Bye.